I'm super happy to welcome you to Chateau de Dampierre, dans l'Aube, which is like a Champagne region in France. It's a castle that I bought like 2 years ago now, and it's going to be the adventure over the next videos about the restoration of this beautiful house. We're mixing many different periods, starting with an incredible Chatelet, what we call the Chatelet, from the 15th century, and also an incredible house from Mansart, a very famous architect from Louis XIV. And this house will be restored also over the next couple of years. Also, we're going to do like many different videos about different topics about the castle and the restoration and the little stories about it. And you can put some comments if you want some more focused stories, and we can just focus on that. For the one who don't know about the story of this house for now, this is actually a house in a little village called Dampierre. It's in Champagne region. It's a very beautiful region where we actually produce the champagne beverage that everyone knows. And this house was owned by a big family, very famous in France for their implication in the history of French history. And the family de Dampierre, Picot de Dampierre. This is the name of the family who built it almost like 1,000 years ago. This first part, a Chatelet, that was part, the entrance actually, that was the entrance door, that was part of the biggest medieval castle that was now destroyed to rebuild a very more modern, in a way, castle from François Mansart, with big windows when the rest was with little narrow windows. And this house went through the centuries like this and arrived to us now in this conception, and we will try over the next years, maybe decade, to restore it like the more faithfully. This house had like many people living in for centuries, and over the last century it was more like a agreement house, more like a country house for a family living in Paris. It's going to be the same for me. It's going to be my country house, it's going to be my weekend house for my friends and family, but also for the people who want to come and visit it in the summertime. It's a house that's going to be restored. I have the chance to have different style with different periods, and what I want to do is to restore it, respecting the style of each of the house. For instance, for the Chatelet, it's going to be more in a medieval Renaissance way. And in the castle that is completely 17th century, is going to be maybe between like 17th and 18th century restitution. I think it's very important for this house to get back the proper identity. Why? Because during the century, especially just before the Second World War, was a big auction where everything was sold. Plus the Germans who were like investing the place for a while, burning all the wooden floor and removing all the wood paneling, and everything was gone. Then we have, I feel that I have the duty to reinstall all the soul of this house that is kind of gone. And happily I have so many images, gravure, pictures, because the house was publicated during the 20s in a couple of magazines. That's very interesting to see how it was arranged inside, with all the paintings, with all the wood paneling. And I have some documentation actually to kind of replicate something like this for the future and give back at least the soul to the house and the main decoration. After we will see for the style of the objects I'm going to put inside. This is a long story for now, but we will see if we really like going to be like perfectly respecting the period, or if we're going to put some tweaks, because there are some objects that I like that are not really like respecting the period. But whatever, we will see that in the future. But so far we need to do so many restoration. Here is a listed castle. There is different level of listing in France, and this one is the highest. Is Monument Historique, MH, and this means that I cannot do the renovation I want. Actually, I do want to respect like how it needs to be done, but the government and some very specialist people are going to come here, actually already did, and did some diagnosis studies with archaeologues and with historic people like historians who came here to try to understand how the house was built and what it was before, to actually restore it on the better way and the most respectful way, to be sure that the house that was imagined by François Mansart a couple of centuries ago will actually like keep living through the next centuries, and giving this image and this history and this witness of this century, which is actually very important. Then the restoration will be total. It's going to be a restoration of the park, a restoration of the facade, a restoration of the windows, of the roof, of the interiors, and this is for the main castle, the main house, but also for the Chatelet. And that's going to be starting in September, and the castle will be in different steps on the next 4 or 5 years, I think. I bought this house 2 years ago, but of course we started the renovation already like a year ago. Not on the main things, but on little things that I will show you later. You will see after, but the gates, the main gate is gone, is restored right now, and we're gonna actually reinstall it in July. There's 2 also very cute houses close to the gate, the pavilion we call them, that gonna be completely finished soon. There's also a miroir d'eau, which is like a big kind of lake where the castle can reflect. And all of this will be the theme of the next videos. And of course, if you're interested with all these topics, you can just subscribe to the channel. See you in the next one.